And I think the younger version of myself, I'd see myself as a very curious person, which is effectively what drew me into engineering, understanding how things work, and being curious about what's in your fridge, how the cars work, and I've always been quite curious about these things. And I also think I have a very big social element in myself. I've always been interested in talking to people and understanding, what they can, teach me about, how we can, just have a good time together as well, and explore different perspectives on things, I guess. And I think my younger self was very, social, but also very curious. It's about rethinking the way that we live, and particularly when it comes to energy, the way that we use energy in our homes. If you think about the way that you heat your home, where does it come from? And trying to see alternative ways of providing heat that is affordable, so it's cheap, it doesn't take part of the household, well, I think in my case, I'm originally from Brazil, and it's a country that's very unequal. And I always saw my role as an engineer as being associated with reducing inequality and helping people have a better life effectively, and helping our cities be better places to live. And I think that was my main motivation to go into this area, to work with engineering and these big challenges that we face. And I think when I moved from Brazil to the UK, I really saw the importance of the climate debate. And here, I think it was much more vivid, the debate, and people were always discussing these issues and was on the top of the agenda. And that's when I started understanding the implications that the climate crisis may have on the lives of people. So usually it's the most vulnerable people that would be the most affected when it comes to the changes that we expect to see in the future. So I think the combination of the social element with the environmental issue, which was what really brought me closer to this topic and made me want to work in this area. Well, I work as a researcher and an academic, so I see my job as a way of influencing people to, increase their efforts in terms of how they should, change their way of thinking, their lifestyle, and also thinking about, big decision makers as well, such as the government, how we can influence them to act when it comes to climate. And at LSBU, we work with several organizations as well in projects that include companies, include governments, and local authorities that we try and influence and support so that they can deliver on their claims to achieve net zero. So I think what we do is just to combine what's out there in the research with practical applications to really make sure that we can achieve the scale of change that we need. And we also work with education. So I think one of the most rewarding things is really to be able to influence people and bring more talented and young and diverse people into this area that's lacking a lot of perspectives many times. So I think it's also about looking at how we can get more people on board. And we are working with new courses at LSBU. There's the Green Skies Project, which I think is worth mentioning, that worked with the London Borough of Islington to develop a new smart energy system. And following the successful works that were carried out in this project, we developed a center of excellence that is, that we're hoping that it will be able to provide, courses and qualification for people in London and all across the UK to learn more about, skills that they can have in terms of deploying these smart local energy systems, in terms of reshaping the way that we provide energy in our local areas. So I think, just to sum up, I think the way that I see my role is just to influence and help other organizations to achieve their carbon targets, and also to bring more people together in this cause.